Hey there, guys, and welcome back to another episode with Pro Bono. I am your host, Emil, and today I am joined with Pearl Kumalo. Now, a bit about Pearl. She studied at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. She is a staff attorney at probono.org's Durban office. She's currently oversees the labor, refugee, family, wills, and gender-based violence practice areas. She has previously worked with various nonprofit organizations with initiatives promoting women's rights, career guidance for teens, as well as human rights. She enjoys community outreach programs, particularly involving the elderly, as well as planning various community events. Pearl shows a keen interest in property law, refugee law, and as well as human rights law. Pearl, how are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I am doing good. Just a little bit busy around here at the office at the foundation, but let's jump straight into it. How would you describe refugee law?
Refugee law oversees the process in which people who are being persecuted in their countries can flee and be accepted by other countries where they can find safety and possibly start a new life. So, refugee law would encompass a bit of international law, our own African law, with the African Union, as well as our own domestic laws, including our Constitution and the Refugees Act.
And what are some of the United Nations treaties or articles that bind South Africa to cater to non-South Africans?
Okay. South Africa is a party to the UN Convention relating to the status of refugees of 1951. And that means that we have an obligation to assist people who come in and apply for asylum because of circumstances that they may be facing in their countries. Now, this is, in terms of refugee law, is very particular in terms of what it needs. You can't just flee your country and come in. It has to be fitting within Section 3 of the Refugees Act.
So now in South Africa, we have quite a bit of non-South Africans within South Africa as it is. So what are some of the rights enjoyed by these non-South Africans, and what are some of the rights infringed by Home Affairs?
Okay, so when we say non-South Africans, we must be particular. We must be specific and speak about asylum seekers and refugees. Instead of speaking maybe of people who are here on a visa, because that's completely different. Those that are here on your visas are part of the Immigration Act. And when we talk about refugees and asylum seekers, we speak about two categories. One is an asylum seeker is someone who has applied and is looking for refugee status. And then a refugee would be someone who's already been granted that status. And it's an entire process that they need to follow. But an asylum seeker, their right is to work, to study, to have all of the protection of the law. They have a right to some sort of identification. They have a right to primary education and basic health care. In terms of Home Affairs, yes. So in terms of Home Affairs and how Home Affairs may be infringing on some of those rights, I would say the system has its problems, and we find that the various NGOs do take them to court. But something of concern, maybe two things of concern, would be one, how the wheels of justice when it comes to refugee law, the entire process is extremely slow. It takes too long for them to fully adjudicate on the matter or decide on the matter. For example, if someone comes into South Africa in 2006 and gets an asylum seeker permit, and maybe that permit they get rejected, but they're waiting for a date for an appeal. When that matter will be finalized could be 5 years later, 10 years later, where they finally get that rejection. And in the meantime, this person who is an asylum seeker doesn't have the security of knowing where do they stand, what is my actual status in South Africa. And they begin their lives. They have a job, they establish, families. So it just goes too slow. You'll find that some will get their final rejections 10 years later and they've already built a life here. And you tell them, actually, the whole reason that you came to South Africa does not particularly fit within the refugee law scope. And that's a bit difficult to deliver to clients. The second issue, which Lawyers for Human Rights in Scalabrini Center in Cape Town has taken the Department of Home Affairs to court for, is the arrest, basically the unlawful detention and arrest of asylum seekers who are not given an opportunity to challenge decisions given to them by the Refugee Reception Center, or even new applicants who come and say, I'm applying for asylum, I'd like to apply for asylum. They are immediately arrested. So those are unlawful arrests, because once you say that you want to apply for asylum, they should give you an opportunity to ventilate your claim.
And what kind of assistance does probono.org offer their clients?
Okay, so once someone has been rejected, and say it goes to the Refugee Appeals Authority, we can assist a client with representation on the day of their hearing, as well as if their claim has gone, their rejection now has gone to the Standing Committee for Refugee Affairs. Submissions are made there, and we can assist a client with making submissions there. And then further, we also assist our clients with judicial reviews. Now, this is if you have been rejected by the Appeals Authority and the Standing Committee, and you would like to take it to court on one of the other grounds that's where we also come in and try to assist them by having the courts really look at the decision that was taken at that level, the Appeals Authority and the Standing Committee.
So let's say, for example, you guys pro bono cannot help. What are some public law interest organizations that can assist with such matters?
I'll be honest with you. Here in KZN, there isn't a lot of organizations. We work closely with Lawyers for Human Rights. They run a clinic focusing on refugee law and statelessness. So they are commonly who we refer our clients to. But in KZN, we do not have many organizations that are assisting with refugee law.
So let's say I'm an attorney, right? Is there a way for me to sign up with pro bono if I'm an attorney?
Yes. So firstly, I would like to encourage all attorneys who have an interest or specialize in refugee law, immigration law, or administrative law to sign up to be on our panel. They can email our administrator, Google. And then we also have durbaninfo@probono.org.za, where they can ask to sign up and be on our panel. And for even attorneys who are just interested in the area of law and would like to learn in order to help our clients, we do have trainings that we do offer to attorneys who would like to assist further. But we really do need to be capacitated more so we can reach more of the asylum community.
Oh, Pearl, that's great to hear. And Pearl, thank you so much for allowing us to interview and actually understand more about how refugee law is taking place within South Africa and all the roundabouts, all the little nits, all the little things that a lot of people don't generally know about. I mean, I learned a couple of new things about refugee law that I didn't know before. So Thank you for that.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's no problem. That was a really great interview. And for the guys watching, everyone watching out there, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did please leave a like, share the video with your family, friends, and coworkers. And if you want to learn more about pro bono, you can go to their websites and find out more about what they do and how to get involved with them. Anyways, we will see you in the next interview.